Hello dear students, welcome to class 8. Today we are going to start with first chapter of class 8 science, that is crop production and management. As we know, food is basic necessity of life. All living organisms, whether plants and animals, they depend on food for energy, for growth and development, for the fighting against diseases. So we require food. We get food from the plants and animals. The sources from where we get food is from plants and animals. The plants which we grow to produce food, they are termed as crops. We grow crops in field. The similar types of plants which are grown in a place are termed as crops. The plants of the same kind grown at a place are termed as crops. And the branch of science which deal with cultivation of crops and rearing of animals is termed as agriculture. I repeat, the branch of science that deals with cultivation of crops and rearing of animals for food, for fodder, for clothes is termed as agriculture. We grow crops in areas in land, and those areas we call as crop field. And the produce which we get is known as crop yield or crop produce. Variety of crops we cultivate like cereals, that is wheat, rice, maize, bajra, etc. These are the cereals which we cultivate. Pulses like all the daling, all dals which we eat, moong, pea, arhar, masoor, gram, kidney beans, they are the pulses which we cultivate. Vegetables like cabbage, pea, cauliflower, brinjal, ladyfinger, these are the vegetables which grow. Fruits like apple, mango, grapes, spices, all the masalas which we add to give flavor to our food, that is cloves, black pepper, cardamom. These are all different varieties of crops we cultivate in our field. Besides, we also cultivate oil crops, fiber crops like jute, cotton, and hemp, fodder crops for our animals, for grazing animals like berseem and alfalfa. Got it? So these are the variety of crops which we cultivate. As India is a diverse country, we have a variety of climates. Northern India, Southern India, East and the Western part. They have the different varieties of climate patterns depending on their temperature, rainfall and humidity. So in India, we have divided the cropping seasons into two different categories. There are two different cropping seasons in India, and it most favorably depend on monsoon. As India is a rain-fed country, farmers depend on rains for the supply of water. So depending upon the temperature and the rainfall available, there are two cropping seasons. One is the Kharif and the Rabi season. Kharif season crops, they are also termed as rainy season crops. Like this is the July month going on. So farmers, as rains are there, farmers have started growing their crops. So these are the rainy crops, rainy season crops. They are grown in the month of June and or July, and they are harvested in the month of October or November, just before Diwali. That is the harvest festival. Their water requirements are more. Like rice, it requires standing water. They generally grow in hot and humid temperatures. For example, rice, maize, soya bean, groundnut, cotton. Rabi crops, whereas they are winter season crops. They are grown in the months of winter. Like they are grown in the months of November and December. And they are harvested in the months of March and April, just near to Holi. They require low temperature. Initially, they require low temperature, and at the time of their maturation, they require high temperature. That is in the month of March and April, during the daytime, when the temperatures are high. They require relatively less amount of water as compared to rainy crops. For example, wheat, gram, pea, mustard, these are the Rabi season crops. Besides these two, there are 3 months which are left vacant, that is April, May, and June, where the fields are vacant for the farmers. So this third season is termed as Zaid season. And this in Zaid season, the farmers can cultivate one of the vegetable crop which can help them economically also. As we have two different cropping seasons, let us now come to the agricultural practices. So, to cultivate crops, a farmer has to perform variety of activities in a series in sequential order. And these are termed as agricultural practices. Agricultural practices, they are the activities in a particular sequence which a farmer undertakes for the cultivation of crops for a given period of time. Sequential practices which farmers they perform to cultivate a crop. So the very first step which a farmer will perform is preparation of soil. Preparation of soil, that is, they will prepare the soil to cultivate to sow the seed. The different steps in the preparation of soil is plowing, labeling, applying nutrients. Diverse agricultural tools are there, agricultural implements are there which help farmers to perform these activities. Then sowing of seeds. After sowing of seeds, watering the field, that is irrigation. Crop protection. Protection of crops from pests, protection of crops from weeds, and the protection of crops from diseases, various diseases. After, as our crops are ready, they are ready to harvest, they are ready to cut. So the last step is harvesting, and least, that is storage. Where to store our grains, at home or in the granaries in the large godowns. All these steps, agricultural practices, we'll study one by one in our class. The first step in the agricultural practices, that is preparation of soil. And in preparation of soil, the first step the farmer will do is plowing. Plowing is also termed as tilling. Plowing is the process of loosening of soil, that is turning of the soil upside down. It is done with the help of an agricultural implement which is known as plow. Plow is made up of wood with a metal tip at the extreme end, which can penetrate in the soil, and it helps in upturning of the soil upside down. So the lower soil, lower harder soil may come at the upper side. So loosening of the soil is done with the help of plowing. There are many advantages. Let me show you the picture of the plows and the various practices. Like you can see the farmer plowing the field. Earlier the plow was attached with the bullocks, animals, and animal used to plow the field. Now as mechanization has done, you can see the plowing is done with the help of tractors. So it is easier now, less time consuming. These plowing, it has variety of advantages. As we lose the soil, upturn the soil, the roots can easily penetrate deep inside the soil and breathe easily. Air and water, it goes easily inside the soil. So this air and water are available to the roots of the crops. They grow healthy. Plowing allows the manures and the fertilizers which we apply to the soil, they mix uniformly all over the field because the soil is loose. Plowing also helps in the removal of weeds. As we plow the field, the weeds, they also uproot out. The previous remains of the crops, they are also uprooted out due to plowing. So the first basic step is plowing. Nutrient-rich soil, which may be as we water our field and the nutrients may seep down. With the new cultivation of crops, with the new season, when we perform plowing, these nutrients which are at the bottom, with the plowing, it comes at the surface. So it helps in upturning of the nutrients. Got it? As plowing is done, the second step, after plowing the soil, it becomes the land, crop field, it becomes uneven, like this. ups and downs are there because of the plowing. So the next step is to make that land uniform, leveled. And this step is known as leveling. The plowed land is leveled, and this leveling is done with the help of agricultural tools like wooden plank or iron leveler. These levelers, they may be driven by animals as in the 10-20 years back, or nowadays tractors are used for leveling also. Advantages of leveling: as we level the field, the soil, the bigger crumbs of the soil, they get crushed. As the soil becomes leveled, it prevents soil erosion. What is soil erosion? It is the movement of soil from one place to another place. Washing down of the soil, it may be due to rain or it may be due to air, wind erosion or water erosion. So it prevents soil erosion. It also helps, leveling also helps in uniform distribution of water and manures in the field. As the field is leveled, when we apply water during irrigation, water will go uniformly to the entire field. Okay? So that it helps in uniform distribution of water and manures in the field. One important point is earthworms. Earthworms, they live in soil and they live in burrows. So they make channels inside the soil. And in a way, earthworms, they make soil loosen. They eat upon the organic mass, the dead plants, and they add humus to the soil. So earthworms are the friends of farmers. They help in loosening of the soil and they add humus to the soil. After leveling, the next step to prepare our soil for cultivation of crops is addition of nutrients. As we know that soil has nutrients in it. Soil has nutrients in it: nitrogen, phosphorus, zinc, molybdenum. Likewise, variety of nutrients are present inside the soil. And these nutrients are absorbed by the roots of the plants. They are utilized. Continuously sowing of plants year after year on the same field will make the soil deplete of nutrients. As plants will absorb nutrients and there will be deficiency of nutrients in the soil may get infertile with the course of time. So we have to maintain the fertility of soil. How we can